It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind. Oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner. Oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This man not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun la wa mo la mo dodododo. Maiyegun diary, number one.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Maiyegun
diary
live.
Maiyegun today, oh, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun diary, number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary, number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary.
This afternoon in Abuja,
Muhammadu Buhari has formally broken his silence on demands in some quarters for unconditional release of the prescribed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, currently standing trial, saying doing so runs contrary to the doctrine of separation of powers between the executive and the judiciary. This was while receiving a group under the auspices of highly respected Igbo greats led by the First Republic parliamentarian and Minister of Aviation, Chief Mbazulike Amechi. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the reports.
The 93-year-old statesman, Chief Mbazulike Amechi, had described the situation in the southeast as painful and pathetic, lamenting that businesses have collapsed, education is crumbling, and there is fear everywhere. During the closed-door engagement, Chief Amechi pleaded for a political rather than military solution, requesting that if Nnamdi Kanu is released to him as the only First Republic minister still alive, he would no longer say the things he had been saying, stressing that he could control him. The Nigerian said twice he had interfaced with Nnamdi Kanu in the past, and the latter rescinded orders earlier given on civil disobedience. He concluded that he doesn't want to leave this planet without peace, returning to his country, maintaining that he believes in one big, united Nigeria, a force in Africa. Chief Amechi told President Buhari that he wants him to be remembered as a person who saw Nigeria burning and quenched the fire. President Muhammadu Buhari told his guests that they have made an extremely difficult demand on him as leader of the country. The implication of their request, he said, is very serious. The president takes pride in the fact that since coming to power in the last 6 years, nobody would say he had confronted or interfered in the work of the judiciary. He told the leader of the highly respected Igbo greats that God has not only spared and given him a clear head at this age, but also very sharp memory, saying a lot of people half his age are confused already. The demand made, President Buhari said, is heavy, concluding.
Anyway, again, good evening to you. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. We must analyze this because the Igbo leaders, many of them who have also appeared, especially the the former governor of Anambra State, Ezefe, and then others who went there, they were supposed to be the elders of Igbo land. Nnamdi Kanu's issue, as well as the Biafran struggle, has caused sleepless nights and so much nightmares, not just for the Buhari gang, but it has caused a lot of sleepless nights for those who have always, the elders of different parts of Nigeria, who have always come out. They love to come out to say they support one big Nigeria and this and that. So they took that to Buhari and they said they wanted him to release Nnamdi Kanu to them. It should be unconditional release. However, Mo will take them bit by bit. First, let's say thank you to them, because you know what happened, right? It's the campaign of the IPOB, especially the Biafrans, their response since the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu took place until now has taken its toll on the economy of Eastern Nigeria. It has taken its toll on the well-being, daily well-being of the people of the Eastern Nigeria. Even when so many people pretend that this or that, they can tell how much the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu, detention of Nnamdi Kanu, how much damages that has brought upon the Eastern Nigeria, especially the socio-political space. So when they said, when people said we want unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, it is simply because he has done nothing wrong. He has committed no crime, you see. But Nigeria is structured in a way that whoever is the president of that Nigeria, judiciary, legislature, so every institution in that country comes under him. And there is nothing called checks and balances. So praise singers, palace jesters are those who make those in power look so relevant and powerful. Well, these people came together, old men, who knows that except Nnamdi Kanu is released, and his release must be unconditional. However, the IPOB, especially the Biafrans on social media have already said, no. They are already giving conditions. Part of what the elders of Igbo land went to Abuja to meet Buhari for was to reassure Buhari that the Igbos are not leaving Nigeria. That is contrary to what Nnamdi Kanu stands for. You know that, right? However, they went there, they reassured Buhari that the Biafrans are not leaving, but they want him on a compassionate ground. Compassionate, just be merciful. Please, can you just please forgive him? We agree that he's done something wrong, right? Can you please forgive him? And he will never say anything again. He will never talk about anything again. Although the NTA reporter that reported the news said they assured Buhari that he will not be saying things he was saying before. In that same report, they emphasized on Buhari's age, his dementia, and they were comparing him to his to people of his age who are already confused, as if to say Buhari is not confused. Now, when elders meet somebody who have committed great crime, that is what Buhari has committed. He militarized the eastern Nigeria. But maybe I can say elders, maybe the elders felt like, oh, maybe if we massage his ego, it will release Nnamdi Kanu. But in their statement, they said they released him before and he never stopped saying those things. That you have, that's what Buhari said, you have put me in a situation whereby, even though I have committed a crime, kidnapping him illegally, but telling me to release him, that he will not say all those things about me again. He will not say those things he's saying about Nigeria again. He will no longer talk about Biafra again. Remember that I have been there before. And rather than for him to stop, it escalated. Now you are putting me in that position again to free him. They are begging him to release Nnamdi Kanu, like with conditions. The Biafrans want him released unconditionally. Right? And because it is the way Nigeria is arranged, Buhari has now seen himself as God. He said he doesn't control the judiciary. But since May that they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, they said they have been looking for him for 4 years. They have a case prepared against him. For 6 months now, they are so scared to take him to their own courts, present those evidence, so that his own lawyers, his own defense lawyers, they can then, you know, discard or disprove them. Nigeria couldn't come out with anything. 6 months after 4 years of looking for Nnamdi Kanu. 6 months after they kidnapped him, they couldn't present him in court or present their evidence in court. So when you are now proposing a political solution means that, number one, to the elders, so we say thank you. No be everybody they go say thank you to you, but I'm going to say thank you to you. You know why I have to say thank you to all those Igbo leaders, yeah? Even if you don't agree with them. It took them so much courage, right? For one of them to call Asshole Rock and tell the people inside the Asshole Rock that they want to come and see Buhari, and they are coming to see him because of Nnamdi Kanu. It took more than just talking, guys. And that's how we say thank you to them. It means that Nnamdi Kanu's issue, even for those who don't even like him too, right? And for those who have not some courage enough to stand up and speak against this whole criminality of Buhari and Nigeria. But for these old men, former politicians, present politicians, traditional rulers, and all of them, they put call through to Asshole Rock to say, we are coming to talk about Nnamdi Kanu. And they went there, they discussed Nnamdi Kanu. But yes, in their way, they went there to massage the ego of the madman, the demented mannequin, Buhari. But did they present Nnamdi Kanu's case there? Yes, they did. And guess what? Buhari said, I will consider releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Which means, somehow, He himself has been waiting for a time where some people will come. And as the mannequin, they will put him on, as a figurehead there, right? They will put him in there as the FEG. And people will begin to say, Buhari, please, no, use your power. You are the mightiest. You can do and undo. You are the God of man. Here, you are this and that. We want you to please. Nnamdi Kanu didn't know you. Buhari, Nnamdi Kanu didn't know you. Please release him to us and all of that. You see, whatever transpired. Let me say this to you clearly, why we should say thank you to them. And we want them to please don't promise what you cannot guarantee. Tell the Igbo leaders, because listen, we have those who are fighting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Most of us, now advocacy to ginger people, to let people know that Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime. Therefore, every day is in their detention, right? Is everyday crime committed against him. And Nigeria should be held responsible. That's what we are doing. There are people who are actually pulling strings. But when you are dining with the devil, you must have a very long spoon. In this case, I've told you, even if the devil will have to give his right eye for Nnamdi Kanu to leave that place, I will clap for the devil. You know why? Buhari as a devil, right, has grown a stone-cold heart, including the heartless jihadists surrounding him, who doesn't really, they don't shiver when they see blood of innocent people spilled, cold-hearted killers. So when you are dining with such devil, right, sometimes you should be tricky too. When you have people who have courage enough to say, we are here to talk about our son. Whatever he said about you, that you are dead, that you are this or that, no vex. Oh yeah, make you let him go. There are people who are pulling those strings. So there are people who have been dragging that they don't need to say much, but they have what it takes to pull the string and save Oluye Sunday Igboho from this murderous Buhari. We know those that they don't have to say anything, but they have the chance to pull the string and tell it to Buhari that these people have not committed any crime. Free them, because that's what Nigeria has become. Normally, you will go to court, sue the country, sue Buhari, sue everybody. Everybody will meet in court. The court will give their verdict. The government have no other choice than to obey it and all that. But that is not how Nigeria works. Even if you go to court and the court says release him, they won't, and nothing will happen. That is Nigeria. So when you see people who stand up and say, even if you don't like them, you know why I would rather say thank you to them than castigate them, is because this is the most I can do. If their own string pull Nnamdi Kanu out tomorrow, to whose advantage is that, do you think? Do you think if Nnamdi Kanu is eventually whatever, the same way they kidnapped him, right? Whatever abracadabra they want to do, whatever thing they want to promise themselves. The last time they promised themselves many things, don't forget, remember that when they released him the last time, they said he must never grant interview. He must never do broadcast on online anymore. He must not do that Biafra radio anymore. He must not be seen in the midst of more than 10 people. Immediately they released Nnamdi Kanu. The following day, he is already in the midst of more people. He's already granting interview because he is not a slave. Those who made that arrangement with Buhari, they should go and answer to Buhari. But guess what? For the period that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was out there when he was with us, all of you can verify and certify how much influence, how much gravitas the entire Southern Nigeria movement against terrorism, against corruption, against the impunity that Nigeria has become. In 4 years that he was not in their dungeon, he changed a lot of mind. Remember, it was after his release that he himself started building what we now know as the handshake across the Niger, where the Biafrans begin to feel comfortable discussing Oduduwa Republic. Oduduwans begin to be comfortable discussing every other thing. Like, he started building that bridge. So keeping him now is to nobody's advantage. Not to the cause. You can see all that is going on right now. You can see everything going on right now when it's not here. So for somebody like myself, I don't give a damn about the condition. I don't give a damn about whatever. Even if you want to call them Sabo, call them whatever you want to call them. Call them any name. But even if the devil have to give his left yansh, all I want to read about the breaking news is that I don't care how they do it. The same court that is not going to listen to them, the same court that is not going to let them defend him, the same court that is never going to sit on every case they brought against Nigeria since this started, the same Nigerian court that won't sit. When these devils, when these people, when they finally make their arrangements, make their paddy arrangements, the court will sit. They will grant him bail. He will be out here with us. Whatever condition they put their hands in is never going to be party to it. Or is he? Has he ever been party to any condition that tells him not to speak up against the killings in Eastern Nigeria or in the rest of Nigeria? Do you think any condition will make Nnamdi Kanu stop talking? So all of us can continue to put the pressure, mount the pressure, continue to talk and all of that. And I can tell you, it is working. Maybe not how you want it to be. Some people are already now massaging the ego of Buhari, right? Remember, it was Malamu that first said they are open for political solution on this issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Oloye Sunday Igboho. Because don't let anybody lie to you. The holding of Oloye Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic, right, is completely the machination and the handiwork of Nigeria. The kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, which you all know about, and his detention and his held up in Nigeria today is no other handiwork of the machination of the criminals in Nigeria. And there is no other reason why they are holding them or targeting them for no other reason than politics, political reason. Nigeria is a political creation. You know that. Nigeria is a political arrangement until the murderous, power mongers took over. And since 1966, Nigeria became a product of gun and bullets. Gun, bullet, and blood. It has always been. It was a political existence. I would say, if the Yorubas, if the Biafrans says we want a referendum, we don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore, that is a political demand. As a people who are part of Nigeria, as a political arrangement. Because it was political arrangement that made Nigeria a regional system of government and not one country. So it was Malamu who first said something like that. We are open for political solution. Political solution, don't be say, oh, you go support it. No. Don't be like that. Okay. When they say, because our everyday life, is designed and determined by politics. It is the politics that makes policies, the policies that runs the society. If it works for you, there are policies that are favorable to the people. If they don't work for you, they have policies that doesn't favor you. So political pronouncement is what made IPOB got proscribed as a terrorist organization. Political pronouncement. It's going to take the same political pronouncement to say, you know what, they are no longer, because in the face of the law, IPOB is not a terrorist organization. They went to court. They won court cases, 3 different court cases that said IPOB is not a terrorist organization. But politically, Buhari's government used political pronouncement. Igbo governors, they used political pronouncement to proscribe IPOB. So if you want to resolve it, it simply means that all parties have to come together. The negotiation they don't want to have, they will have to have it. Political solution. And that's why the Yorubas are saying, if you want to have a political solution to all of this, how is it going to be? Referendum, how is it going to be? New constitution, how is it going to be? These are political solutions that doesn't have anything to do with APC, PDP, ABGA, or whatever, any other party. Political solutions means that when people say, this is what we want, you put it into a vote. Is this what we all want? Yes. No. Yes. No. Okay. How many of us want this? How many of us doesn't want this? And then when you put it into a vote, the majority carry the vote. Political solution. Do Yorubas want to be part of Nigeria? It's a case of yes or no. There are Yorubas that will vote no. They don't want to be part of Nigeria. I am one of them. If there is a ballot there tomorrow with a yes or no vote, and they say I should choose between Nigeria or Yoruba nation, I will vote yes to Yoruba nation and I vote no to Nigeria. But that doesn't mean that there are no other millions of Yorubas that are going to vote yes to Nigeria and no to Yoruba nation. How do you determine that? Political solution. Same thing with the Biafrans. Same thing with the Middle Beltans. Same thing with the Arewans. Same thing with the Fulanis, jihadists, and all of them that are claiming that they want land and all of that. So if Buhari now turn around and say, I will consider releasing Nnamdi Kanu, that doesn't mean that he's going to do it. Do you get what I mean now? It doesn't mean that he's going to do it. But what that simply verify in a way is that the Igbo elders, the Igbo leaders, no matter what we call them, they have managed to beat the Igbo governors who proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization. It was the Igbo governors who proscribed IPOB. Buhari just gave them the military backing to execute every Igbo that they considered as a threat. So these Igbo elders, they bypassed them. That is significant. Among others who are also pulling their own string. I remember that we may not agree with them. Listen, I don't know how people, I wish many of my friends can try to be like me. You don't have to be like me, okay? But try and pick few things from how I always kind of treat issue. Sometimes you should know one thing. Here in the UK, there's this slogan. Say, every little help. Every penny counts. Every little help. Tesco. And it is true. Every little help. Every penny counts. People will stand and speak for me when nobody is speaking for me. They are worth more than the people who are speaking with me when I actually don't really have anybody, because who speak with me because I can speak for myself. People who put in words, even for whatever motive you might think of, the Igbo governors who said they have found that IPOB are not criminals. But they found that some other criminals in eastern Nigeria, they are hiding behind the IPOB name to commit crime. And they, the governors, are doing everything to make sure that they fish out those people who are using their names in the eastern Nigeria. But none of them, none of the Igbo governors, they said they were going to meet with Buhari. They said that, you see, this Igbo leaders who went to Abuja to speak to Buhari on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu, they did not announce it and say, oh, we are going to go and meet Buhari. So I want you to know that that's significant. I will see, not that, not that sometimes it is not demeaning, insulting to see your elders going to Abuja, right, to go and meet Buhari or meet anybody, elders of your own, if Nigeria was Nigeria, why would they have to go and meet somebody to beg him? Why? They were humiliated in the court when they tried to, when they attended the court, Nnamdi Kanu's trial. They were humiliated. They were sat outside the court. They were not allowed to get in. So it can be somehow undermining. But you know what? That move is what we called Agba Okinwa Loja Ki Ori Omo Tuntun Ko Wo in Yoruba land. That means you can't have elders, right, in the market, and a woman backing a child that is completely, discomforted or, with a sort of a bent head. I don't know. You will always see somebody, you will always see, if you have elders in that market, you will always see one of them that will say, oh, let us set the head straight. The baby is not going to be comfortable the way she is sleeping, right? Let's readjust that. It's the job of the elders who understand what, that discomfort will be. So that's exactly what the Igbo elders have done under this current circumstance. And they were able to pull it off because it seems that even Buhari and gang, they are looking for a way that they will reassure them, right? That they can talk to Nnamdi Kanu and they can talk to all of you to stop asking for Biafra. Do you get that now? He has been waiting. So all this while, it's like everybody abandoned him, everybody ignored him with all they have been doing. It's like this is the first time that they actually walked into the villa to discuss Nnamdi Kanu. And you should give yourselves a round of applause for that. If you are a Biafran or a supporter of Biafra, you should give yourselves some sort of round of applause. You may not like them. There's something in 48 laws of power. It is called using the cat clause or cat paws, or where you can use somebody's hand to take a charcoal out of the fire, right? Especially if they volunteer to do it for you. At what cost would that be? What would that cost you? So yes, you want them to bring Nnamdi Kanu out, but let me tell you this, right? Moves like this are very, very good idea. Moves to say, indeed, una they try. Let's put it that way. Because I wouldn't mind to see, I don't know how this is going to work out, right? But the last time our own Yoruba Obas, the last time they visited Buhari, or Nirisha, or Niofife, he led the delegation to Abuja. Then they have not killed people at Oloye Sunday Igboho's house. They have not attempted to kill Igboho. They have not done all these damages they have done, right? And instead of Baba to tell Buhari why Igboho was doing what he was doing and why the Yoruba land deserves that protection, we deserve at least better than what the Fulani terrorists are doing to our people today, all right? Ooni of Ife came back and he said Buhari told him to go and warn Igboho to stop telling the Yorubas to defend themselves or to continue to say the Fulani terrorists in our forest should leave. And Ooni of Ife, according to the statement from the palace, they said Ooni of Ife only told Oloye Sunday Igboho to calm down. Do you get that now? When Alaafin of Oyo met with Buhari as well, they all went there to pledge their loyalty to Nigeria, their loyalty to the people who paid them and the rest of that, right? But when they came back, they told us to be careful. They told us to calm down. One of them even just sent recently, among those who think, Oloye Sunday Igboho should have listened to Ooni of Ife, right? When Ooni of Ife told him to calm down. Is he not calming down right now in Benin Republic? You see, things like that makes you feel like, where are our own elders? Where are our own elders? See, does our own elders in Yoruba land go to Buhari to go and collect warnings for us? One is that if we are not careful, they will kill us. If we are not careful, they will jail us. If we are not careful, they will exile us. Those are the warnings they are bringing for us. So even if you want them to do more, there's something they call, ohun tó ń ṣàbọ̀yàdé, tó ń ṣe nǹkan tó ń ṣàbọ̀yàdé gbogbo ọlọ́yà ló ń ṣe. Wetin dey worry Aboyade? Now everybody with the serve Oya, now all of them go feel the same symptom. So the same, what do you call it? The same way that you at least have your own elders in Igbo land who were bold enough to face Buhari and tell him, we wanted to release our son to us. I wish we have same in today's Yoruba land, where people can indeed, right, walk straight into that Aso Rock and tell Buhari, whatever you are having on the Benin Republic, this is not going to end well, right? Instead of them coming back to warn us, they always come back to warn us. Say if we don't calm down in the grave, I mean, if we don't calm down, we'll calm down in the grave or we'll calm down in the jail. Unfortunately. Yeah? I'm going to share that again. Thank you so much, Baba T, for your super chat. Maiyegun forget bent head. With these current Yoruba leaders, the enemies have cut the baby's head off in the market, Ojare. No doubt. I'm just saying we should maybe try and remind them. You get what I mean now? Because as they do you for Biafra, it don't do us for Yoruba land. As some people are saying, it no matter, it no concern them with Nnamdi Kanu. So many are saying same in Yoruba land. It's none of their business. It doesn't concern them. But we continue to remind them it does concern you, but maybe you don't know yet, right? So when I saw that meeting today, I'm going to share that again, by the way, the Abuja meeting. I mean, thank them.
Muhammadu Buhari has formally broken his silence and demands in some quarters for unconditional release of the prescribed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, currently standing trial, saying doing so runs contrary to the doctrine of separation of powers between the executive and the judiciary. This was while receiving a group under the auspices of highly respected Igbo greats, led by the First Republic parliamentarian and Minister of Aviation, Chief Mbazulike Amechi. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the reports.
The 93-year-old statesman, Chief Mbazulike Amechi, had described the situation in the southeast as painful and pathetic, lamenting that businesses have collapsed, education is crumbling, and there is fear everywhere. During the closed-door engagement, Chief Amechi pleaded for a political rather than military solution, requesting that if Nnamdi Kanu is released to him as the only First Republic minister still alive, he would no longer say the things he had been saying, stressing that he could control him. The Nigerian said twice he had interfaced with Nnamdi Kanu in the past, and the latter rescinded orders earlier given on civil disobedience. He concluded that he doesn't want to leave this planet without peace, returning to his country, maintaining that he believes in one big, united Nigeria, efforts in Africa. Chief Amechi told President Buhari that he wants him to be remembered as a person who saw Nigeria burning and quenched the fire. President Muhammadu Buhari told his guests that they have made an extremely difficult demand on him as leader of the country. The implication of their request, he said, is very serious. The president takes pride in the fact that since coming to power in the last 6 years, nobody would say he had confronted or interfered in the work of the judiciary. He told the leader of the highly respected Igbo greats that God has not only spared and given him a clear head at this age, but also very sharp memory, saying a lot of people half his age are confused already. The demand made, President Buhari said, is heavy, concluding.
Oh, it's talking about sharp brain, confusion, and all of that. It's all the things. That Sambo guy. Some said, Maiyegun, it was America who told him he must release Nnamdi Kanu when Blinken came to Nigeria, or went to Nigeria yesterday. We could not stop the deluding ourselves. Okay? America will not tell anybody to release Nnamdi Kanu. Trust me. All right? So if you want to make yourself feel good, maybe. But some others told me that, because you know why, right? America knows the militarization of Eastern Nigeria. They know. They know all the killings going on there. The massacre going on in Eastern Nigeria, they know about them, right? And they know the reason why Buhari is doing that. They know why. They know to the whole kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya down to Nigeria. Same thing with the British. So if anybody tells you that America has ordered Buhari to release Nnamdi Kanu, or Britain has given this and that, you better stop deceiving yourselves, right? I don't mean to bust your bubble, okay? It's pretty much like, nonsense that people say just to make themselves feel good, all right? However, some others said, Maiyegun, when Buhari was in South Africa, when the Biafrans wanted to tear him into pieces, right? That's enough for him to know that if these people won't chop me alive, they won't tear me into pieces. Everywhere they see me, they feel like they can. They say, oh yeah, just give us Buhari for 10 minutes. Maybe we just have a meeting with Buhari for 10 minutes, right? So if these people who would rather beat me up anywhere they see me, if they can come and rub and massage my ego and make me feel like I am somebody, maybe I would release Nnamdi Kanu, right? I'm just joking, right? Just making that up. However, South Africa, when Buhari was there, let me see if I have the right video. I have another one where they were like trying to enter the place in Durban. That is where they were having that trade wherever that Buhari stopped in Durban to do, right? But in London, my great brother, Prince Jejeman, right, was also represented. So all these things from everywhere Buhari goes to are enough to say if Biafran grab Buhari, they go beat him. They will beat Buhari. If they meet him one-on-one, if you release them, if you give, I'm not saying they will kill him because they are not terrorists, you know that, right? But they will go beat Buhari. Oh. Are you with me? But in London, this same pressure was on. Prince Jejeman.
The MP, Harriet Harman, has she not been here to discuss anything? No, she hasn't. She hasn't said a word. Her own constituents have written to her. She doesn't say anything. So what is going on? What is going on? Why has nobody from the Foreign and Commonwealth Office mentioned Nnamdi Kanu? How can you have a British citizen travelling on a British passport kidnapped in Kenya on June the 19th? He was tortured for 8 days before being extraordinary rendition back to Nigeria. Why was the extraordinary rendition back to Nigeria when he's a British citizen? Has nobody behind these windows asked that question? How can you all remain silent? How can you all pretend that you can't see anything going on? It's all over social media. Catriona Lang, the High Commissioner for the UK in Abuja, has done nothing. She gets tagged in every single tweet that tweets about Nnamdi Kanu and extraordinary rendition. She doesn't reply to anybody. You ask a question, she blocks you. Is that really someone in her position? Is that really something she could be doing? She's done nothing at all. She's a representative of the UK in Nigeria. She represents British citizens in Nigeria. Why has she not represented Nnamdi Kanu? Why is the total silence? You've got another protest next to us here, a lady called Nazanin. Nobody's helping her either. She's a British citizen. What is going on in this country? The 67 to 70 Biafran war, it wasn't a war. It was a genocide. And the UK was complicit in genocide. The UK is complicit in genocide now, today. It's happening again. Yet why do we not hear about it? You go 20 yards away, the BBC cameras are there, the ITV cameras are there. Why does the BBC and ITV not cover Biafra? If what was going on in Nigeria was happening in any other Commonwealth country, it'd be all over our news. So why is it not reported? It's not reported because the British government are still looting all the resources in Nigeria. Biafra on its own would be a world leader in any way you can think of, one of the richest countries on earth. But the UK can't let that happen. Because if the UK lets that happen, it has to start paying for the resources, of which all the oil that it gets now is given free. How can you put oil above thousands and thousands of people's lives, slaughtered on a daily basis? Catriona Lang, who works for this office, is fully aware of it. What's her response? Her response is to go on Twitter and start dancing with the Fulani terrorists who are committing these atrocities. How is that right? Ask yourself a question. How can we stay silent when this is happening? You can turn a blind eye. You can remain silent. You can do nothing at all. But don't ever turn around and say you didn't know what was going on, because you know exactly what's going on and you're doing nothing about it. It is absolutely shameful. Boris Johnson, what's he doing? He's doing nothing. Buhari is dead. Buhari died in London in February 2017.
That's right.
He died in London in 2017. So why do you still put this charade out that Buhari's coming to London? Buhari's coming for medical treatment. The man died in 2017.
Yes.
And when that comes out, seriously, the UK will look the biggest fools on earth. The death certificate's there. It's all written.
That's right.
There's proof he died in London. He's buried in Saudi Arabia. And yet you keep that quiet as well. How can you keep quiet that a president of a country died 4 years ago and you're still portraying him coming here for hospital treatment? Is that not a farce?
Cover up.
It's a total cover-up. A total corrupt cover-up by a totally corrupt government. But when Biafra comes, then we will see who laughs. Because it won't be the UK. All hail Biafra.
All hail Biafra. Thank God say, Maiyegun don come.
So my people make you lie down, yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo.
Be like bombshell. When Prince JJ Man posted that video on Facebook, Facebook suspended him and deleted the video. I have shared it now in Maiyegun's Diary broadcast. Let's see what they will do with it. Talking about looting, caring less about millions of people that are trapped. I love what you said, Light Lochi. Maiyegun, at least the brave Afenifere are speaking truth to power, unlike our sniveling Ohanese. Okay. I mean, Afenifere is speaking up. And when you look at those who went to Abuja today, you are likely going to see 2, 3, 4 members of Ohanese in the delegation, okay? But I think I get where you are coming from. At the same time, right? Remember this. Talking about it is great. That's what I'm doing. But going to face the devil himself and say, you know what? You are holding our son that we want released. Not because he will release him to them, and not because he won't release him to them. But that courage of going, right? I mean, all of you should know one thing, though. For all of them to agree first that you, me, plus you, plus all of us, we are going to Abuja, that takes something. It simply means, right? Even if others are living in denial, continue to pretend that they can pretend that it's not happening. These ones can no longer pretend, and they are the old people, right? So going there to say it to Buhari's face, for Buhari to now say, well, I will consider, I will consider that, even though it's going to sound like me trying to, abrogate the power of another branch. That is something significant I want us to also recommend, because there are going to be many. There are going to be many people who are going to try and eventually come alive to say, you know what, this is rubbish. Let's stand up and get this guy out. Let's do this and do that. Let's get everybody who have been persecuted and being, slaughtered and killed by this government. Let's get them justice, right? And they are likely not going to be people you like. Trust me. They are not likely people you want to trust. But situation will push them out. They will take up the mantle like all this. And like I told you, I don't care. Even if the devil won't give him own left eye for Nnamdi Kanu to be with us, for Oloye Sunday to be with us, because when they are with us, right, we have a clearer cut direction of what this is all about. And I know what I'm talking about, okay? So we say thank you still, and we hope that Ohanese and Igbo will man up fully, and the Igbo governors will man up fully, and us, the Yorubas, will man up fully enough, right, to take it further beyond just talking. So, because talking about looting, right? You remember the last time that one House of Representatives member was questioning the rationale behind borrowing money to construct rail line to Niger Republic, right? And you remember Amichi's response, right? It's because they don't give a damn. I brought the two back to you this evening. Just a snippet as well. Watch this.
And looking at your key railway projects, which you've highlighted from A to E, the Southeast is bigger than that of Maradi. I'm not even talking of South-South. So what policy guide, what need assessment, what study of federal character integration will make a Ministry of Transportation put 284 kilometers from the end of the north to Maradi, and we're reconstructing narrow gauge in the Southeast, South-South. This, to me, is part of why the integration in this country will always be a challenge, because things are done with so much impunity, things are done with so much, you can't do anything. This is our common money. So when we approve this budget, you go and do Maradi Road Railway and do a narrow gauge rehabilitation for the Southeast. My heart bleeds. No, let me finish my question. This has been a recurrent thing anytime you appear before us, Honorable Minister. And you are now giving us this as the way to enhance the economies of Niger and Nigeria. Why the economy of Nigerians, especially those who have the containers, who are always on the road, we are giving them narrow gauge rehabilitation. Chairman, I'm not sure. I hope you understood my question. I am a Nigerian.
Chairman, I also concur with
Develop another country before develop our
before
own.
you answer.
Thank
Let
you.
him finish. No, I concur with you because we constantly challenge you. Why would you give us those in the eastern part of Nigeria from southeast, north central, northeast? You are giving us the archaic old model narrow gauge. Then you are now spending a lot of money to do modern, what do you call it? The modern gauge to other parts of the country. What is wrong with the southeast, north central, and northeast? Are we not Nigerians? Why should there be double standard in this matter? That's why we're quarreling.
Do you want to hear what Amechi has to say about that? Useless people that some of you don't know that they don't like that country. You can't love a place. You can't love something and treat it that way and that bad. You can't love your country and negotiate the worst and the worst deal that will put your people in that country into the worst of the worst situation and then turn around and say you are working hard for the country. Nigeria is a broke country, a looted, corrupt, destroyed economy by these criminals. Their greed and selfishness, right? But they are not by any means, right, feel bad about what they have done because they are doing even worse. Trying to create jobs in the desert for people whose business is to come to Nigeria and kidnap Nigerians for money. And the Minister of Transportation, Amechi, Judas Iscariot, Amechi, the Ubima, Judas Iscariot. This is his defense for building railway that they will borrow money for from China. Building railway that is just 2 kilometers within Nigeria. The remaining kilometer is there in Niger Republic. Listen.
To even get to Maradi, I had to travel to Niger Republic to even beg them. They're not bringing their money, it's our money, but I'm begging them to allow me access into Maradi.
Why is it so important to go to Maradi?
Okay, it's simple. Currently, Niger Republic is exporting through Benin Republic. All the countries that are landlocked in the West African region are exporting through Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast.
Not Nigeria.
Not Nigeria. Why are they not exporting through Nigeria? Oh, your roads are bad. So the railway takes care of that. Oh, customs are difficult. They will charge us things that are not what we are charged in Benin Republic. Immigration does not allow us. Even when we pass all this, police checkpoints on the road, custom checkpoints on the road, immigration checkpoints on the road. Then communities have their own checkpoints on the road. Armed robbers attack us on the road. So we prefer to go where it is safe and cheaper to do business. So all we're saying to you is, oh, okay. So we come to Maradi, we build offices, we build a warehouse. You put your thing in the warehouse, you deal with customs at Maradi, deal with immigration at Maradi, deal with police and whatever you need to check for the goods to go. Once we put the good on top the wagon, straight to Lagos. When it gets to Lagos, straight to the ship. Because the things you would have done in Lagos, we have done in Maradi. So it makes it cheaper and easier for them to do business. No community will stop the train and say, where are those things from Nigeria, or for instance, or where are those things from, say, Chad that want to use Lagos.
Right.
It's just, once you finish at Maradi, you put it on the wagon, you appear at Lagos, you board the ship and off you go. Or if you're importing from outside the country and you want to go to, you are from Nigeria or Chad, as soon as you finish at the Lagos seaport, straight, the next place you see your goods is at Maradi. So what we're doing is to grow Nigerian business and Nigerian economy. Those people will come, let's assume the ship is not leaving that day, they will sleep in Lagos, so they pay for hotel, they buy food, they do business, so you're growing the economy. So what are people complaining about?
This is a very expensive project, though.
1.9 billion?
Yes.
How much is to Maradi? So you stop at Jibia. Maradi is just 20 kilometers. So Maradi won't be up to $200 million. So what's expensive about
The
that?
argument of those who are talking about it is that $200 million could have been used, for example,
To do what?
to complete the East-West Highway.
China is not lending you money for, okay, it's not even China, it's ECA, that's European Union. They're not lending the money for road now. They will probably not lend you the money for road. But if you complete, if you took $200 million to complete whatever road you want to complete, and you lose the kind of business that will generate more than $200 million, which one would you prefer?
But on balance, don't you, as Honorable Minister, think that possibly the East-West Road also generates that kind of revenue because it's within the country?
What revenue does it generate?
You're talking, I mean, if I understand the concept properly, the East-West Road kicks off in Lagos and goes all the way to...
It doesn't kick off from Lagos. It kicks off from Warri.
Fine.
Warri to Calabar.
Which is where we have all
Don't
the refineries.
Don't forget that the one from Uyo, not Uyo, this place in Akwa Ibom to Calabar has not been constructed. In fact, they brought it in the cabinet. The minister was saying about 400 billion naira or so to construct it, was all bridges. But that's even not the issue. The issue is that as much as East-West Road is economically relevant to the country and to the South-South, it's also important to point out that after some years, maybe 10 years, it will break down.
Why do you say that?
Don't you see why? Have you driven on it? It goes bad. The tonnage on the road is higher most times than the road. That the only saving grace for East-West Road will be if we construct the Lagos-Calabar railway, which will be able to convey the volume of wet cargo that you have to carry on that list.
Those are the people who love Nigeria. Did you see the passion? It was describing how they are going to go and build something in Maradi. Maradi is in Niger Republic. Niger Republic. So they will build a place there, warehouse there. They will construct a train from Nigeria that they will borrow money, $4 billion. They said 1.9 billion. That's not true. They now said they are going to spend $4 billion to build that rail from Nigeria to Maradi. He's so passionate about Niger Republic. He's so passionate about their economy that all Nigeria would, and then he started condemning why the Niger Republic are not importing through Nigeria. Police extortion, roadblocks, bad roads, insecurity, armed robbers, community setting up a roadblock, this and that. All of that about corruption. Minister of Nigeria wants to save traders in Niger Republic. He wants to save them from armed robbers, from policemen, from military, Nigerian police, Nigerian military. He wants to save them from those who are extorting them, custom, immigration, and all of that. And decided to go and borrow 4 billion to go and build rail line for them. Meanwhile, an average Igbo importer is trading and bringing in multi-billion dollars, so not naira, $1 billion of imported goods to and he will need to transport it from Lagos, because the way they have arranged Nigeria, right? They may tell you all over, Nigeria is a big country, beautiful country, biggest Africa, blah, 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 blah. It is all badadash. Okay? Nigeria only have one single port, and it is in Lagos. It is deliberate. Lagos is not the only place that has water or sea. Niger Delta region, they have access to open sea, high sea, that can take in the biggest of the biggest vessel. Most of the vessels that comes to Nigeria to carry crude oil, they batch in Niger Delta water, in their IC there. That's from there they lift the crude oil of Nigeria into the IC and to the rest of the world. But Niger Delta people cannot open their seaport and receive imported good. They have to come to Lagos. It is deliberate to underdevelop Nigeria, to underdevelop the Biafra land, to underdevelop every part that could be independent of themselves or independence of Nigeria. So when you now go to Lagos and you are lucky, you cleared your goods, then you have to import a 40-feet container from China is about 900,000 naira. Now, to clear the container from Apapa Wharf and take it to trade fair, it will cost you about 450,000 naira. Just then, if you want to now take the container from trade fair in Lagos straight to Onitsha, you will go and budget 1.8 million, 2 million naira. That is within Nigeria. As for the police extorting them, you know, when you are traveling from Lagos to Igbo land, to Biafra land, to the east, at least, if public holiday day, you will meet nothing less than, when I say public holiday, I mean like, you know, there shouldn't be too much people walking, Abi. You will see nothing less than 100 checkpoints before you get to Onitsha. And each checkpoint is collecting money from those trailers, those rickety trailers that are loaded, that are carrying the containers on the way, on the road. Right? They are paying bribe on the way until they get to Onitsha. But Minister of Transportation in Nigeria sat with a presenter and he said he defended why Nigeria want to borrow money to build standard gauge railway, standard double lane to Niger Republic. And Amechi said, we went there. I begged them with my money, with our money. Listen.
To even get to Maradi, I had to travel to Niger Republic to even beg them. They're not bringing their money, it's our money. But I'm begging them to allow me access into Maradi.
Why is it so important?
Do you understand? I didn't say that so that you won't say Maiyegun is making it up. He said it. He begged them. Begged them. And when they told him that, why don't you just put that money on East-West Road or build the same standard gauge from Lagos to you as a Minister of Transportation, right? You want to build, he wants to build Transportation University in Daura, Buhari's village. They want to build, Transportation University. Daura will be say the easiest job there right now is Fulani terrorism, kidnapping for ransom. Amechi is planning schools for them there. Like Jonathan was building schools in Kebbi, Gombe, Bauchi, Sokoto, all these places. Today, all those children they managed to put in school then, they are back on the street, they are carrying guns now. If they are not carrying guns, they are carrying plates as Almajiri. Amechi is building university, wants to build University of Transportation. But for this whole period, Amechi did not see any kind of light to open up the eastern Nigeria, open up the entire Niger Delta, whereby people can, at least is the minister, Abi, people can start bringing their importation down to and create jobs, real jobs. But you heard him now. You saw how he started condemning Nigeria, why the roads will soon be destroyed, why this and that. The reason, those are the people who sit together to discuss about your progress, discuss about your budget, discuss about your security, discuss about your economy, discuss about your safety, discuss about your rights, discuss about things that affect you every day. That is the attitude. Did you not see that? He started adjusting his cap, trying to explain it away, why he preferred to defend Niger Republic, where Buhari comes from, than to defend Niger Delta, where he comes from. East-West Road is Niger Delta. Yeah? But people like us, to the Buhari idiots, we are the people who are their enemies. Those are the enemies of Nigeria. If you're looking for those who are against your progress, against your destiny, against your safety and what have you, you should not look any further. All right. You have them in abundance, but up to you. So let's keep the pressure. That's waiting. I won't beg you now. Buhari said he's going to consider releasing Nnamdi Kanu. He is not the court, Abi, but he's also the court. So if they do anything in there and they say, okay, sure you sure say no go abuse me again. If their movement, their meeting will reduce the onslaught and the military onslaught in Igbo land, right? I am up for it. I don't like violence. Trust me, I know to like them, especially when I know that people's lives are also involved. People are getting killed. Their liberty, their freedom are being taken away from them, right? So if I see anyone that says, we can do it the other way, we will do it the other way, I don't try to let my, I don't have one anyway, trust issue. So I don't let trust issue envelope me like, it's a lie. You know what? Time will tell. So for this move, we want more. I am happy that they got, that's not the only thing that came out of their court today, okay? They also got the Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers. They were able to get a court injunction that says that Nigeria must not bring in the police to militarize and then, put everyone under this kind of apprehension whenever Nnamdi Kanu's case is mentioned. Do you know that Nnamdi Kanu and his lawyers, they are already suing Nigeria for damages, for the kidnap and then the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu as we speak. That one is going on separately right here in Igbo land as we speak. And then that of Abuja is the court case initiated by Buhari. So if Buhari and Malamum, if they begin to feel like, oh boy, I say this thing don't they bust, oh, this Nnamdi Kanu thing don't they shake, oh. If people beg us, yeah, let's pretend that we are still angry. When people beg us, we'll say we'll think about it and then we'll release him. Whatever it takes, I don't care. I know it's not going to be that easy, right? But again, let's acknowledge this before everybody start walking about with their own cane. Wherever you see Buhari or wherever you see the Buhari idiots, you just bring out your pankere, sha. But until we get to then, right? I'm saying free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. He's committed no crime. He has committed no crime. Free Oloye Sunday Igboho unconditionally. He's committed no crime as well. The real criminal, those who are using the instrumentality of the state to perpetuate criminality, all this arson and all this ethnic cleansing, this murderous campaign of these Fulani terrorists, right? Those who are doing that are the criminals that should be facing the law. And I'm glad that they are never going to be let off the hook. So maybe they can redeem their image at some point. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Or if you continue to keep him as a trophy, like some of you Buhari idiots are celebrating and happy, right? Continue to keep him as a trophy. It is going to be, your doom. And I wish I could possibly break that down for you to know what that means, right? Buhari has misfired. There are a gang of rogues and criminals there who are profiling and then, targeting the Southerners in this ethnic supremacy war, right? If they don't free Nnamdi Kanu, free Oloye Sunday Igboho, the days we are counting, the nights we are counting, the weeks we count, we've been counting, months we have been counting. Then one day we're going to count the last day. And that last day is the doomsday. If they have those who can tell them, and if they are actually listening to the sense of reasoning, right? Free them. If you can't free them, right? Then let's go to court. Let your court sit and bring all your evidence to at least prove that you have a case against them, not manipulating the judicial system, using all this instrumentality of state, coercing and forcing people to be kept in detention against the lawful legal requirement or legal, standard, so to say. Again, free Nnamdi Kanu, free Oloye Sunday Igboho, and, free every prisoner of conscience that Buhari is holding captive. We'll say this because that's what we can say for now. Until when Esuru would now turn around and go to pursue the dog. Yeah? I mean, Thank you so much for your time, for joining me tonight. I just thought I won't let this pass, even though I work late, right? I won't let this pass without dropping it for every one of you. So if you're watching me on YouTube as my friend, and this is your first time, right? Click like under that video, right? And then, subscribe if you haven't. Set your notification on, okay? And I'm going to see you some other time. And if you haven't really shared the video as well, share it. If you are just joining us, you will see the sweetest part of, they say sweet in the middle. You will see the sweetest part of this broadcast from the start, at least beyond the middle. So just throw back, rewind it, and you can start watching. I'm going to see you some other time. So good night, everyone.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀.
èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.